Good morning, Tarkov. Oh, that's a little bit of a voice crack there, because I just woke up. Good morning, Tarkov. How's everybody doing? Think we're good. As long as I'm clearing my throat here a little bit. That was yeah, just a little bit of me losing my voice yesterday. Not a big deal. If you guys did miss it yesterday, we did a 2-hour long cast yesterday. We covered everything from the Nikita Q&A, from my Nikita Q&A, over to Nikita talking to Pestily over on his podcast with the team. So yeah, after that, my voice was shot big time after that. So welcome to Good Morning Tarkov. This is the morning show that I do about everything Escape from Tarkov related. It usually goes for about an hour, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern United States time. And I pick a topic for the day just to get everyone's mind moving, and then we see what kind of questions that we can come up with. Excuse me. And then that's going to be happening a lot today because I did lose my voice yesterday after that. Excuse me. So, and then we go, I talk about, I have a topic that I talk about for that day, and then just to get everyone's mind moving, and then we do a chat Q&A just to see if we can pick anything apart or have a discussion about it. And today's topic is Boom. So this is definitely not going to be the last time that we talk about Boom, but we did have some interesting news pop up from the Q&A as well as the podcast with Nikita regarding just Boom in general. So we are going to discuss that today. But first, how's everyone doing? Morning, Teebles. Morning, Mad. Morning, Artist. Morning, Henry. Morning, Dad. Morning, Leonard. Morning, Jobin. How's everyone doing? How you guys doing? Oh, also, before I forget, if you guys do miss anything, the VOD is going to go up on the YouTube channel pretty soon after this goes down. After the live stream goes down, the VOD will go up, and then that is when I'm going to be able to download the VOD and then upload it to Spotify. So a bit later in the day, it will go up on Spotify, but of course without any video or anything. But the VOD is pretty good because you can have all the video. It's as if you were here, you just weren't here live. Same thing for live, actually, because I'm going to do a little bit of artwork and get that up on screen at some point. I can tell that a lot of people aren't actually seeing the live stream live based off of the questions that they're asking. They're a little bit behind. So if you guys are here for the live stream, make sure in the window you see the red dot next to the live, like you'll see the mute button, you'll see the volume button or slider, and then you'll see live, but make sure that there's a red dot next to it, or else you're not actually live and you're not actually with us at the current moment. So make sure you're checking out, make sure you're looking out for that too as well. I probably should have added something about voice cracks in today's title, because I guarantee that is going to keep happening. I full on lost my voice yesterday after talking for fucking 2 hours straight. So that's definitely going to be happening today. And we have a big video today. I haven't done the audio for today's video as well. Today's video is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. We're going to be talking about every single thing that we have new from this week, which is a lot. So I'm going to go into detail and actually talk about everything that needs to be talked about this week in terms of dates, in terms of patches, in terms of specific features for Escape from Tarkov, what those features mean. It's going to be a big video for sure. And it's also going to be a sponsored video, so I really would appreciate the support with that. Generally speaking, after you watch that video, you should really know what's going on with Tarkov for months to come. And yes, I will talk about the wipe with that video. And if you guys have been paying attention, you guys are probably going to, you're probably going to already know what's going to come with the wipe. And since we're on that subject and someone's going to ask about it anyway, there is no confirmed wipe, but we'll get to that in that video. You guys don't need to really worry about it right now. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Warren Black. I do not know how to say that name. Paulilolo? Yeah, M203 for sure. Morning, Alex. Morning, BM. Dude's name is BM. I hope that means something other than bowel movement. It's a weird name to have for a morning stream. Do you know when the update is coming? Right now, the current estimate is early June. Right now, the current estimate for 12/11 is early June. Anyone else have the problem where you bought the upgrade for Tarkov, but it reverted to basic? I haven't heard of that, so make sure you have the right account and stuff too. You have a YouTube channel about Blender 3D? No, I do not. No, I do not. I wish I knew Blender. Hey, Ambi, how you doing? I love that no one can... Well, yeah, it's a pretty confusing name. Is everyone behaving? Why is Nightbot timing people out? Is that for the emote thing again? What the fuck? Why did that time you out? All right, I'm gonna have to check out. I'll check out Nightbot. I've been meaning to do that for a little while now. We know all that wipe. We know all that a wipe mostly come with the Lighthouse expansion and not before because the factory update is too small for it, sadly. MP, that is where you're wrong. You're going to want to go check out my 12.11 video, and we'll get into that today. Yeah, that's not right, MP. We'll get into that with today's video for sure. Oh, you said with too many O's? Yeah, you got to watch out with this. You got to watch out with spam and stuff. Oh my God, I really got to watch my voice today, guys. I really have to watch my voice. All right. So, today's topic is going to be a quick one because I don't want to continuously talk and lose my voice again like yesterday, but we'll see what happens anyway. And I'm going to have another sip of coffee. Just let's hope. Factory huge confirmed? Absolutely not. I know you're joking there. At least it seems like you're joking there, but MP, we can have a discussion about that later, but that's not correct. All right. So, let's talk Boom. Very interesting stuff. Let's turn the music down just a little bit. I'll get to today's topic just while we get everyone walking in here. It seems like we have enough numbers, so let's get going here. Let's talk Boom. From the Pestily podcast with Nikita on Thursday, Nikita said that all of the grenade launchers are done. All of the grenade launchers are done. That's not, I don't know what's going on with like the RPGs or the AT4 or the Law Rocket or anything like that. Or the other explosives. But he did say that all of the grenade launchers are done. That's under barrel. That's multiple launch or whatever you want to call it. It's not like an MLRS, but whatever. Is Jack in chat? Do I have any mods in chat? I don't know. I have to see. Everyone behave. Just so you know what, for right now, since I don't see any mods, we're going to do that. Just so you guys, just to make sure you guys behave, we're gonna take away your on-screen chat privileges, but you guys will still see it. If you guys really want to see the chat in the VOD, you can go over to the right side of the screen there, and you'll have live chat. You should be good to go. Hey, Tirish, how you doing? All right, so he did say that all of the grenade launchers are done. And if you guys haven't seen my future gun videos, unfortunately, some of the more rare guns that they're not going to be able to get their hands on, which I don't actually know which specifically those guns are, but according to my Nikita Q&A, those are the guns that aren't going to be able to make it into Escape from Tarkov because they need to actually be hands-on with those guns. However, that's not what we're talking about. The grenade launchers. In those videos, I talked about the grenade launchers, the underbarrel grenade launchers, the multiple round launchers for grenade launchers. Those apparently are all done. And I don't know if he meant all of them. I'm going to have to double check this, especially for today's video. He said that they could be ready for 12.12. And if you don't know what that means, that's the patch after next. We are waiting on patch 12.11. So, you know, quick maths, boys. 12.12 was after 12.11. So we might be seeing an ass load of more grenade launchers in 12.12. We will see. We will see what happens with that. We will see how easy they're able to achieve. We'll see how easy they are to get to, or what's the right word? To loot, to access. Access would be the right word between the traders and the loot pools and all that stuff. Let's see what happens with that. And then immediately, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are saying, well, what the fuck? What's going on? I hate grenade launchers. What's going on with that? Nikita also has us there with another answer from, well, technically it was from my Q&A, but it was from also, this specific way he answered it was from the Pestily podcast. It's funny because I've had this brought up a couple times because if you guys actually go back and watch the VOD, Ghost asked Nikita a question about Chads versus Rats and like how Nikita sees that kind of gameplay and how he thinks it's going to affect the future. And then immediately Nikita said, it's funny because I answered this question recently from somebody. I just had this question from somebody very recently. Who could have that person been? Oh, I don't know. It was me. That was from my Q&A. He answered that question for me. Because you want to know why? Because literally while Ghost was on that podcast, I DM'd Ghost, and I'm like, I really want him to elaborate on this question. Can you ask it to him? And then, for whatever reason, it's fine. Ghost didn't want to say my name or whatever. I don't know. Whatever, for whatever reason. So it didn't jog his memory, but it doesn't matter because he still had the same answer. I just thought it was funny that Nikita said, like, oh, it's funny. I had this question from somebody recently. I just don't remember who. It was me. It was my question. I forget which one it was. It was like, I think it was like number 6 or 7 or whatever from my Q&A. Actually, I have it right here. Let me see. It was number 10. It was question number 10 of the Q&A there. And yeah, so Nikita went on and he pretty much answered the way he answered my Q&A in text. But then he added a little bit of a part here that I wanted to get to today, and which would make sense how we're talking about not necessarily explosives, because he didn't talk about explosives that much detail, but with the grenade launchers. Nikita said that it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how much training you had, it doesn't matter what country you're from, it doesn't matter how much of a badass you are, you can still step on a mine. You can still get caught at the wrong place, in the wrong place at the wrong time, and have a grenade launcher looking right at your face. It doesn't matter who you are. That's realistic warfare these days. That shit happens on the daily. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter how trained you are, how long you've been in the biz of warfare or whatever. It doesn't matter, from a Navy SEAL to a truck mechanic in the Army, whatever. You can step on a mine. And that is what he's coming from. That's what he was talking about. And that's what he wants in Escape from Tarkov. That's what's coming for us in Escape from Tarkov, boys. And that's directly from the man himself. So, we'll have to see, like I said, we'll have to see what kind of access we get to those grenade launchers, but he said they're all done, and they said they're possible for 12-12, so we'll see what happens with that. Moving on to destruction. So, if you guys have been paying attention to the last couple weeks here, we've been talking about stuff like that regarding like Levolution, which Levolution is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about destruction. We're talking about a wall coming down. We're talking about a car maybe being able to be movable, like as like a immobile object. Like is inert the right word here? Any physicists in the chat? I don't know if inert is the right word here specifically, but it would be an inanimate object that isn't capable of moving. But then an explosion happens, and then it moves because of that explosion. Something like that. That could be a wall. That could be some kind of extra debris. That could be a ceiling, maybe. Something with a floor. Something with a caved-in roof. Maybe caving in a roof on a building or something like that. That's the kind of destruction that we're talking about. We're not talking about Levolution. We're not talking about whole buildings being destroyed. I'm sure all of us have played certain games where you can just see the certain texture or the certain make of a wall or some kind of roof or something. When you look at it, you know that is something that can be knocked down. You know that if you put some kind of force, like if you go up and you kick or you melee or you, like for instance, Windows would be the easiest way to explain that, which of course we can knock Windows out. Well, most Windows right now we can knock out, and then we can move through them in Tarkov. But now we're gonna talk about walls though. So if you shoot a grenade launcher, or if you shoot once the launchers are in, you shoot a grenade launcher at that wall, or if you put some kind of C4 or some kind of explosive on that wall, it should knock down, and then you should have a new entrance to that building. That's what he's talking about right now. So he says that destruction is actually planned, but in my Q&A, question number 11. Was asking about engine limitations, and he said that is the only thing that might be an engine limitation on Unity's side. However, he immediately followed it up with anything is possible, though. He said that it might be a problem on the engine side, but anything is possible. It just requires a lot of time. This specifically does seem like it would take a lot of time. If I had to guess, they're going to have to be intelligent with how they want to do stuff. It's going to have to do a lot with editing old maps as well as new maps, and it's going to do a lot with map design, and it just seems like there's a lot of moving parts to get something like this to work correctly. So it depends on how high of a priority that they want this to be for destruction specifically. where if we're going to have launchers, we're going to have these grenade launchers, we're going to have RPGs, we're going to have mortars, we're going to have these, we already have the multiple grenade launchers, the like grenade launcher machine guns that you guys see on reserve there, and then also apparently those are, well, actually on reserve, and then also customs now. And those are going to be coming to a lot of different maps too. So grenade launchers, the SPGs as well. Big boom. It's going to be some big booms. They're going to be able to knock some walls down. They are definitely going to be able to knock some walls down. So would be interesting to see what happens with that. And he said that it is planned, but it might have a problem on the engine side of things. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And I wanted to make that clear because forever I've been saying that that's not coming because they would have had to do it from the start. Well, apparently not anymore. Apparently they're going to... Now, we're not talking about Levolution. Buildings aren't going to go away, but walls... It does seem like walls are going to be able to come down. And then we'll see what happens with doors. Because now we're going to talk about door breaching. This was something that was, again, confirmed by Nikita in my Q&A. So, let's see what question it was. I think it was one of the earlier ones. Excuse me, guys. Oh my god, I'm going to lose my voice. This isn't good. Because I have to make a big video today. So question number 2 for my Q&A was, there are several interesting features that have been talked about recently that we are curious about. Are these still planned? Gas grenades, CS gas, coughing while in smoke, cooking grenades, breaking, breaching, picking, blowing open locked doors, and flares as an NVG deterrent and general light source. Flares as an NVG deterrent or general light source. And he confirmed all of that. Long story short, that's from the Q&A. We've all seen this a couple times now. He confirmed all that, including, obviously, the breaking, breaching, picking, and blowing open locked doors. So we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we did not go into too much detail. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much what door it is, unless it's like a bank vault or something huge. If you got some C4, that door is really not going to stand much of a chance to some D4, to some C4, and you're gonna blow that fucker open. Okay, so again, there's other ways of doing it too. You're gonna be able to pry open doors. If I had to guess, prying open a door will be, in terms of audio, it's gonna sound very similar to if you were breaching the door. It's gonna make a lot of noise because last time he was talking about having access to doors other than keys. He said it's either going to take a lot of time, it's going to be expensive because it'll be like with an explosive or something, or it's going to be very loud. So you have a trade-off. You either get in there very quickly, and you either get into a secure location very quickly, but instead it's going to be expensive for you and very loud, explosives. Depending on what it is, it could take a long time because in order for you to get into that, you might need to hack into a keypad, or you might need to pick that lock, which is going to have a very unique sound signature to it, and it's going to take a long time depending on what the lock is or what the door is or what the mechanism is or something like that. Any of you guys that have, I'm sure it's everyone here, have looted filing cabinets. We all know that if you're coming up onto the 3rd floor factory and you're coming around that corner for the actual 3-story staircase there, over near single player spawn, excuse me, you sure as shit know that if someone's in that filing cabinet. You know for sure if someone's in that filing cabinet. It's not going to sound the same, obviously, but I guarantee there's going to be some kind of unique sound signature involved with picking a lock, that we know that even if you're around the corner, oh, this he's picking a lock around here, let's go get him, like that kind of a thing. I guarantee it's going to be something similar to that, because that just seems like that's something that they would do for Escape from Tarkov. Now, how loud is it going to be? That's a different story. How long is it going to take? Also a different story, but I can practically guarantee there's going to be some kind of unique sound signature involved with it. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so also prying open doors. Nikita's talked about this in the past, where you have your EOD hatchet, and you have your pry bars, you have your crowbars, all that kind of stuff. You can stick that, depending on what the door is, you can stick that into the crease. You can stick that onto, maybe depending on how the hinge works, or what kind of hinge it is, or what kind of door it is. You can stick that down to the hinges, and then depending on what it is, pry that door open. I'm assuming that we're going to have a unique sound signature and this because this is based off of what Nikita has been saying in the past regarding getting into locked doors without the key. You are going to have a trade-off. It's either going to be, excuse me, it's either going to be loud, or it's going to take a long time, or it's going to be expensive. So loud, take a long time, or it's going to be expensive in some way, or combination of all the three. This would probably be something that would be loud. Oh, also, if you wanted to get in quicker, then you're going to have one of those trade-offs. So in order to get into that door quicker, it'll be either very loud or very expensive to you, i.e. explosives, i.e. Breaking that door open, and it'll be very obvious. Like if you breach the door right now, it's so obvious that someone breached that door. Same thing with the prying. Same thing with any kind of breaking open. Now, also what I forgot here is it's because it's not exactly an explosive, but you will be able to shoot some doors open as well, which of course you're going to have to shoot your weapon in order to do that, which will make its own noise. But that's not necessarily boom. I know it's more like a pew kind of a thing, so we can talk about that later. Excuse me, guys. And then we have, last thing I want to talk about too, was the effect on keys. But that's going to be for a different time, actually. But I did want to go into the Q&A here, because that's the last thing I want to talk about. Is specifically the boom that's going to be coming soon. So we know about getting into doors that otherwise, or rooms that otherwise need a key. We know about destruction. We know about Nikita's take on the grenade launchers and what's going on with the grenade launchers. But we haven't heard anything new about mines and explosives other than the fact that they are coming and they want them in the game. So that's everything there, and I did want to hear specifically too, because I do have a video topic idea that's going to be coming up in the next couple weeks here, that I did want to see what you guys thought about specifically that door breaching idea when involved with explosives, but not only explosives, but prying and all that stuff. So if you guys didn't feel like talking about grenade launchers, I'd like to hear your opinions on what the worth of keys. I think the title is going to be something along the lines of are keys going to be useless? Because if people know that their favorite loot room, their favorite locked loot room can just be accessed by prying the door open or picking the lock open, what's that going to mean? They don't need that key anymore. They just need a buddy to watch their back while they pick the lock or they break the door open, that kind of a thing. So I wanted to get your take on that. But first and foremost, I wanted to get your take on, the grenade launchers. I wanted to see what's going on with what are your thoughts with destruction? What are your thoughts with what Nikita thinks about, modern Battlefield? Because that, of course, makes complete sense. And it's his baby. This is his game. So it's going to follow suit with what he thinks is best for the game or what he wants in the game. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's topic. Let's get to the chat Q&A. We can get the street slideshow back up. Do I have any more mods? What up, Herb? I'm still not seeing any mods, but all right. So we're gonna keep you guys off since it's just me here today. We're gonna keep you guys off the screen in case we have any people that are misbehaving. But we are going to do the slideshow. So if you guys, excuse me, if you guys have any questions, do what Tirish did. Do what Deadbread just did there. Do @NiceGuySpaceTarkov. I'll put it in chat here a couple times, so you guys can see specifically what that is. So if you do @NiceGuySpaceTarkov and you ask a question, it makes it much, much easier for me to be able to see it, and then we can go from there. Turn the music up a little bit. All right, so what are you guys thinking? What we got here? GL40 for Scar H? Yeah, that's the plan. That's definitely the plan. If I had to guess, as I've talked about that a couple times in the past, if I had to guess, the GL40 going to the Scar is probably going to be one of the first underbarrel grenade launchers that we get in the game, past the GP. Is it GP25? Is it GP25 for the AKs, I think? And then also the M203 for any of the M4 platforms. Or AR platforms. RPGs are cool, but when can I launch Hellfire missiles from my hideout? That would be nuts. But also, no, you can't do that. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah, fuck it. Let's just get some cruise missiles in this bitch. Currently, the faction skills are not implemented in game. USEC negotiations, bear strength. Are these still planned for Tarkov? Of course. Yep, those are still coming. Those are still planned. Those are still coming, Andrew. In name of realism, I am fully prepared to sit in the rest area of my hideout, cleaning my weapons while out of raid. Okay. Yeah, we don't have many specifics about how that's going to work. I think for the sake of ease, I think it's going to be tied into durability, because Nikita did say something about durability. So it does at least make sense if there is a bar there, if there is a number there that is easy to understand. Like, 0 to 100 in terms of durability, which the durability could also include the how clean your weapon is or how dirty your weapon is. Because until the heat comes into the game, which is going to come with the light machine guns and the belt feds, I don't see really too much happening in terms of durability of a weapon, even though that's placeholder right now. The more you shoot a weapon, the more durability, the more the durability goes down. I think the durability that we're going to see with malfunctions is really more towards how dirty, how much carbon is building up inside that, inside the action, inside of the actual weapon, and then what goes on with that. Also, the type of rounds that you're using, what's going to happen with that. We talked about stovepipes. We talked about double feeds, stuff like that, depending on what kind of magazines. If you're using crappy magazines, that might be an issue too. So there's lots that can come from that, and it's all going to go into durability somehow. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Are there going to be custom backpacks? There should be. Depending on what you mean specifically there should be. I mean, there kind of already is. But if you're talking about, like, the Molly backpacks, there should be. You should be able to add some stuff on there. I think they've talked about that in the past. Will there be chalk slugs for shotguns for breaching without ricochets? I don't know. What's the other word for that? Not chalk. Is it flangeable? Is flangeable the right word for that? Where it'll definitely break up? I forget if is flangeable the right word for that? That's an interesting point. I actually don't know. But I given the amount of thought that they've put behind this, I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, GP25. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kevin. So we'll wrap back around for that, Nexters. Frangible is the one that you can use for breaching because it's supposed to break up very easily. Okay, so it seems like that is it. So yeah, I would assume they're going to be adding those, but I haven't heard anything specific. Do you think there will be wipes as often, even at all, in the final product of Tarkov? Yes, Jake, because the current plan is that there are going to be 2 server setups. There's going to be a persistent server, and there is going to be a non-persistent, aka a periodical wipe server. So you at launch, you're going to have, it's planned that you're going to have 4 separate, accounts to each player. You can have a USEC and a bear on the persistent server, and you can have a USEC and a bear on the non-persistent servers. So obviously that's going to split the community, but whatever you guys want, if you want to play on servers that wipe every now and then, you can go and do that. If you want to play on a server that will never wipe, you can go and do that. Personally, it's going to be a little bit weird. I think right now, unless something significantly changes, I think what I'm going to do right now is on the very first launch of Escape from Tarkov wipe, the first, to the future, to infinity and beyond future of Escape from Tarkov, I think my very first steps in the finished product are going to be on the persistent server. The reason why I say that is because we know obviously when the wipe is going to come up for the non-persistent servers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do everything that we want to do with getting there quickly and doing all that with the persistent server and do everything like that, because that's only going to happen once. If you are not there for the very first beginning of that persistent server, then you are not there. That will only ever be a one-time thing. So I want to take part in that. So I think what I'm going to do, and again, unless something drastically changes about it, I think day one I'm going to go and play on the persistent server, and then once I know the wipe is coming up for the non-persistent server, I'll just do whatever I want to do on the persistent server. I'll clean things up. I'll just kind of get everything together to say goodbye to it, basically, and then head over for day one on the newly wiped server, and then have fun and actually take part in that. And then whenever I feel like it, I'll go back over to the persistent server, and I'll have everything that I want and all that stuff. I can go back and take part in whatever's going on the persistent server. I think that's how I'm going to handle it, because again, it's a pretty simple understanding. You are only ever going to have there's only ever going to be one day one on that persistent server, whereas for the periodical wipe servers, you're going to have hundreds of day ones. So that's how I'm thinking of it. Boop, boop, boop. Hopefully the grenade launcher for the AKS will bounce it back into popularity. Could be. Hey Tars, how you doing? You think they are planning on revamping the secure containers so people can't stash ammo and mags in there? So that's another big thing. So Clean likes doing that stuff. Clean likes getting everyone all riled up. As a fan of the game, I don't think that they need to do anything to it. As a fan of the game, I really don't. If they end up doing it, I'm going to adapt. That's not going to kill the game for me. If they end up locking, hell, if they even remove secure containers, I am going to adapt. Escape from Tarkov is not Escape from Tarkov with secure containers for me. Escape from Tarkov is secure. It's blah. Escape from Tarkov is not Escape from Tarkov with secure containers for me. Escape from Tarkov is Escape from Tarkov, if that makes any sense to you guys. I am not playing this game because of the secure container. I'm going to be able to adapt if they end up changing it. However, I so highly doubt they're going to even remove it, and I so highly doubt they're going to lock it. That's just Clean. You know, he wants to get people communicating, and he wants to see what happens with the testing of it. That's what the ETS is for. So if they end up doing a patch on the ETS where they lock secure containers for a patch, we'll see. That's not the right word because we won't see, because we won't know, because it's the ETS server and there's an NDA. So maybe they end up doing that. Maybe they find something interesting, or maybe they've already done it. We don't even know. Maybe they've already done it, and maybe they already saw that it was good or something. Who knows? We actually don't. But if BHG thinks it's useful, and if enough of the community, not just one streamer, if enough of the community thinks it might be useful for the game, then they'll take a look at it. But the timing is going to be what's going to be in question for that, because Nikita himself has, you know, I've been saying this for a long time now, but Nikita himself actually wanted to reiterate it and make sure it was a very clear point that we are in a testing environment right now, guys. The reason why the economy is the way it is, the reason why the loopholes are the way it is, and the reason why access is the way it is because we need to test things. There needs to be relatively easy access to things, or else we wouldn't be able to test them. The best gear, the best guns, the best locations, everything. If it takes, you know, years to go and get that stuff, then we're not going to be able to test it in the span of months. You know what I mean? So we are in a testing environment. There needs to be appropriate access to stuff. And, you know, that could include the secure containers. That could include all the crazy items that we're able to get so easily that everyone sneaks into the secure container and goes and gets all that crazy money and all that stuff. So at launch, the only people that really understand what's going to happen to the game at launch is BSG. And if they think that locking the secure containers isn't going to make a difference, or it doesn't fit into the end game, then they're not going to do it. So we got to leave it up to them for that stuff. Do you think there will be wipes as often, or did I already get that? Yeah, I already did. Thanks for the question, Tars. The question, how do you feel about being able to paint the walls of your hideout? Yeah, I think they talked about more customization coming for the hideout. Actually, funny enough, they talk about like you can put your walls up on the wall. Yeah, guys, walls for walls, wallception. You can put your guns up on the wall and stuff too. I think there is some stuff coming for that. Is Scav Karma and VoIP coming this wipe? Scav Karma is, VoIP is not. VoIP was thought for 12-12. Well, actually, wipe. So yes. If you're talking about, rephrase that, Matt. Rephrase that question for me, Matt. Because what wipe are you talking about? Are you talking about literally today, like the wipe that we were in right now, or the coming wipe? Being a former military armorer, dirty guns will be the most impact weapons function for sure. Take care of your weapon, and your weapon will take care of you. People freaking out about weapon malfunctions, you're kind of doing it wrong. So unless you pick up a gun out of the dirt, or you pick up a gun off of a scav, just take care of your weapon, and your weapon should take care of you. Just keep that in mind for the future of Tarkov there. I'm really excited for these extra features like lockpicking and breaching. With Grenade Launcher, I wish they would focus on these features sooner than later. I would give the game so much more depth. They've got their priorities. That's one of the questions that, because I literally asked about that in that Q&A. So guys, if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you go check out my most recent video. It's the exclusive Q&A with Nikita. And I did my best to ask what the real Tarkov community wants to know. It's not the when wipe. It's not the fix your game, because everyone asks that. Any chance that anyone possibly has to ask Nikita that, we get those kinds of answers. We know what he wants to say for that kind of stuff. So that was some of those questions that we asked there. So make sure you go check out that video. Make sure you check out that Q&A. And if you really want some in-depth opinions and stuff on it, we also talked about that stuff for 2 hours yesterday. So yeah. Frangible, yep. Thanks for the help with that, guys. So I assume Frangible is coming. Hey Herb, what about incendiaries and fire type weapons like Molotovs, Dragon's Breath? I don't know about Dragon's Breath. Summit 1Gs are coming, and incendiaries like thermite grenades and Willy Pete and stuff like that are coming as well. CS gas grenades, all that stuff is planned. I do not know about Dragon's Breath rounds though. But the Summit 1Gs and all that stuff are coming. Jesse Kazan mentioned you in this latest vid. Jesse's been a boy lately. He's been one of my boys lately. He's been shouting me out left and right. We had a really big conversation yesterday. We had a huge conversation yesterday that I happened to be in a stream for, and he like literally made me a part of it. I didn't get into like Discord with him or nothing, but he was like looking for me to talk in chat and give some feedback, and then I DM'd him some stuff, and then he added it to what he was talking about. So yeah, he's cool. And apparently he's going to make that into a video. So whatever that next video he's talking about, he's going to talk about the civilian flea market. What if we made the flea market into a civilian flea market where I guess it just wouldn't have ammo, armor, and all that stuff. And he went into super in depth with that. And then about halfway through that, I showed up in chat. So whenever he makes a video about that, I guess I'll be in that one too. So yeah, he's been really cool. Especially since I'm not one of the cool kids on Twitch these days. So it's cool. It's cool when I go over to Twitch and a lot of people are able to talk to me and stuff, because I'm not one of the cool Twitch kids. I'm the cool YouTube kid. I'm one of the cool YouTube kids. Will weapon painting be a thing? Yep, spray paint for weapons will be a thing. I think I have a video specifically talking about that, Jake. I think I had a red M700 as the thumbnail. If you go looking through it should have like a red M700. Not that you're going to be able to make a red M700, but I just wanted it to stick out for the thumbnail. How many more ammo types will the game have? A lot. Because there's a lot more different calibers coming. There's going to be a lot. I can see BSG making everyone play persistent servers at the beginning and then opening the wipe servers later. That's a good point, Vet. That's a good point, Vet. We'll see what happens. That's an amazing point. What if they only had the one server and then they move on and then they break the servers up? That'd be a good point. Will Tarkov ever be full open world with no loading screens, or will we always have extracts to travel between maps? Extracts will always be a thing because you need to be able to get back to your hideout. However, the map-to-map travel, we'll see what happens with the loading screens. That is a big ask. That is one of the biggest things for Escape from Tarkov, and only time will tell. So they want it to be no loading screens. They want it to be open world. They want that to be in Escape from Tarkov. But again, we'll see what happens. They don't have 20 more years to make this game. So they're trying their best. They said nothing is impossible. Unity is behind them. Nvidia is behind them. They are working very closely to Nvidia. This is one of the most ambitious games. This is the most ambitious game on Unity right now. So the people that make the engine, I know Unity is not the most ideal engine for a game like this. It's definitely not the most ideal engine for a game like this. But Unity themselves, the engineers that actually build Unity, want this game to succeed because, of course, it will help sell their engine. It will help make people want to use their engine for future projects. So they're doing their best to help BSG. Nvidia is doing their best to help BSG because of how ambitious the project is and just how popular the project is. Whenever there's a wipe, the last wipe, this owned Twitch. This was all over the front of Twitch. Lots of big names were all over this. So once we get around launch, all I see is this game getting bigger once we get up towards launch. So they're getting a lot of help, and I think it could move towards that eventually. Just wanted to follow up quickly on the Black Division idea. I made a Google Doc. Oh, Brian from yesterday. Yeah, I made a Google Doc yesterday explaining it better. If you're interested, fair warning, it's 3 pages. Yeah, that's not something that I really have time to I don't really have time to look into that, but I understood the basic. Also, Brian, I did talk to One Peg. He did say that his idea was pretty different. So, we can talk about that later. One Peg said that he wanted to come on the morning show too, so maybe we can talk to him someday. So we can talk to him later about that. But that's an amazing idea, so that will come up again in the future. I just sure as shit don't have time to read 3 pages of a doc. But thank you very much for doing that. Eventually, maybe I can make some Spark notes for me and then DM me on Discord maybe, and I can take a look later. But definitely, I definitely don't have 3 pages. While we're on that subject too, guys, when it comes to feedback and if you guys want to have discussions and stuff, if you guys are in the comments section, one of the surefire ways for me to not be able to respond to you is if you leave a 50-page essay on my comment section about something. I respect your passion for the game, and I respect your point of view, but I do not have the time to read that stuff. I do not have the time to read that stuff. So that's also why I started doing these kind of podcasts and stuff. So if you really want to have a conversation with me, it needs to be a few sentences. I respect your way of thought. I respect your opinion. I respect, your passion for the game, and you really wanted to discuss it and stuff, but I just don't have the time to do that kind of stuff right now. When do you think when do you think they will rework the kinetic movement of players? They talked about that a lot. Inertia is planned. It's not coming in 12.11 though. Inertia is not coming in 12.11. If that's what you're talking about. Although that wouldn't be kinetic, would it? Isn't that not? That's not kinetic, right? Is that kinetic? Would you consider that kinetic inertia? I don't know. I'm not a physicist. Inertia soon TM though, just not in 12.11. Do you think Stalker 2 plus mods will steal players from Tarkov? Of course it'll be people that want to play Tarkov will play Stalker 2, but that's not gonna... You're gonna come back to Tarkov. Like, it's not the same game. Those are two different games. I mean, the same thing as if, like, when World of Warcraft does their new expansion. Of course, some players from Tarkov are World of Warcraft fans, so they're gonna go play the World of Warcraft expansion. Or update, or new patch, or whatever that's gonna be coming up in a few months. It could have nothing to do with Tarkov, but people are going to play those other games. And the reason why I say that is because that's going to be me. I love World of Warcraft. I have a Dark Iron Dwarf Paladin that I tank raids and I tank mythics with, and I fucking love that game. So when that expansion comes out, I'm going to find time to go jump on my Dark Iron Dwarf Paladin and go tank some shit. So yeah, so Stalker 2, especially with how close it is going to be, it will be more than the other games that aren't so close to Tarkov, but it's not gonna. It's two different games. If you want to play Tarkov, you're gonna play Tarkov. If you want to play Stalker 2, you're gonna play Stalker 2. If gas grenades are coming, that's not if. That is a when. They are coming. That's completely confirmed by Nikian himself. Those are coming. Do the gas mask face covers get a use now? Yes, they will. Those will help. Also, the depending on what kind of gas it is, as long as you have some kind of respirator kind of set up with your face there, you should be good. When is the next patch? We don't have a when specifically, Goblin. It's just early June right now is what we're hearing for 12.11. Is there any information for weapon repair systems? Weapon repair systems? Like, because we can already do that now, so what do you mean? Will it be like Stalker series or just press the repair button thing? No idea what you mean with the Stalker series. It's probably going to be very similar to a repair button thing. You're gonna have to go to a trader like we do right now, and depending on the trader and depending on what they do and depending on the parts and the cost and whatnot is going to be how well they fix your gun, things like that. Now, what also might happen is specific durability for parts. So if you swap out a upper receiver after a double feed or not a double feed, but it would be like maybe if it's a low durability upper because of some kind of weird malfunction or something, you can just swap that upper out and then you're good. You've got good durability back. They talked about that. They talked about durability for suppressors when heat comes in, stuff like that. So you swap the suppressor out, you should be good. Stuff like that. That should be a thing, but we'll see. We shall see. Do you know if BSG has plans to add any intermediary? You misspelled that, and my brain isn't working for me to be able to actually say that word correctly right now. Into something in between, an in-between round for 7.62. The jump from PS to BP is a lot. Them being Russian, I'm sure they're thinking of something. Intermediary, my brain can't just, I just can't say that fucking word right now. They should remove the pouch, so you have to put they should remove the pouch so that you have to put your container in a backpack that will prevent hatchlings getting free loot. And he is black. Thank you very much. Or he is back. He's black. God damn it. He's back. Thanks for coming by from Clean's chat and all that stuff. Like, I know that everyone really wants to back up Clean for that stuff, but I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. There's a lot of people that paid for the secure container to happen in a specific way, and I just don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that they're going to make that big of a change. And I don't think it's going to change that much. There's a huge rabbit hole that we can go down with that. And then the whole backpack thing. I mean, why not just put stuff in your backpack anyway? Yeah, there's going to be a lot that goes on with the pouches, guys. That's what the ETS is for. BSG is going to look into that, and we'll see what ends up happening with it. They're going to test that. I don't think too much more is going to happen with the secure containers. I really don't think there is going to be too much more. Because if you guys, those of you guys that haven't been here for years, a shit ton of stuff has happened with the secure containers already. A lot of stuff. You used to be able to put guns in there. You used to be able to put rigs in there. There's a lot more stuff that you can't put in there anymore. They've already done a lot to it, so we'll see what ends up happening. Good question, though. Thanks for coming by. Do you think they will look into ability to sprint on very thin handrails, etc.? Maybe, pal. That doesn't seem like a super high priority thing. But if it deserves to have some kind of physics involved with it, then I would think they would add some kind of physics to it so that you could do that. We'll see. When do you think... Oh, shit. I lost that. When do you think this content avalanche will come in terms of a timeline? Content avalanche? Oh, that's the... You talking about with... So, Unity 19, if you guys go check out my Unity 19 video, there is some graphical pipelines. There's some artwork pipelines that are optimized in Unity 19 to be able to work quicker. So I think Unity 19. I think Unity 19 is the loud bang or whatever to start. I think that is the rock that's going down the mossy hill, or whatever you guys want to call it. I think that is the beginning of that avalanche is Unity 19. If I had to guess, One Peg will be a great addition. Yeah, he knows his shit too. So the thing with me, guys, the thing with guests is I obviously like to talk. I can backpack these things. I can talk till I lose my voice, literally, as you guys have seen many times now. So I'm gonna need to work on myself if I'm going to be able to not be seen as an asshole, basically. In order for me, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my very good friends come and talk to me first. I've got a couple of really good friends that I've made in the past that know Escape from Tarkov. They know game dev. They know me, and they're not gonna go and talk shit about me or whatever if I end up talking over them a couple times, because I do that from time to time. So I need to prepare myself, and I need to kind of because I just kind of go on rants sometimes, and I talk too much sometimes. So the beginning of that was me being comfortable coming and talking about topics and getting used to talking long form and conversing with you guys. Now next is when I feel super passionate about something and I want to get my idea out there, but I also need to let someone else talk. So we're gonna let that play out. I have a plan for that, and it's gonna involve people that I know really well first, so that it's just easier for me. And then we'll get to that, because I definitely don't want to have One Peg come on here and then me talk over him, even though I don't really mean to, just because that's just what I do. So we'll. It's a work in progress. Excuse me. Is there a plan for what year the game will be fully released? No, but there is a plan for when we will get that, because they want Streets of Tarkov in the game, they want the customizable rigs in the game, and they want the lore quests in the game in order for them to give a launch window, because it is their most ambitious map with Streets of Tarkov. It's their most ambitious feature with the custom rigs and the custom armor hitboxes, and it is something that is absolutely required to be in the game for it to be a game, because it's why we're here with the lore. So once all three of those are in, which should be patch 13, maybe a little bit longer with the custom rigs, apparently, according to Nikita with Pestly's chat there the other day. Once all three of those are in, they'll have an approximate launch window for the game. That's completely fine. I was planning to condense it a lot. Yeah, for sure, Brian. What's the Omnicron case? The Omnicron case is an achievable secure container in game. It's going to have a 3x3 slot, and then it's going to have a separate 1x3 slot. So picture a gamma plus another 1x3 slot. It would not be like the Kappa, where it's a 3x4. It's a gamma, and then a space, and then a 1x3. At least that's what we've heard so far about it. We'll replace most of the quests currently available in the game full launch. They won't replace, but they're going to add a shit ton more, and they're going to change some things up. Definitely not replace, though. If I recall correctly, they plan to allow changing out even, say, bolts and firing. Oh, yeah. Everything about a gun, Pascal. Everything about a gun. They're going to do all that shit. All the internals. It's going to be nuts. Intermediary. Yes. Thank you very much, Kevin. I needed that. Isn't the gamma temporary? No, the gamma's not temporary. If you're talking about EOD, the reason why EOD is limited time is because it's limited time to buy, guys. The limited time access to EOD is limited time to buy. So the EOD package will go away at some point in the future, but anyone that has EOD right now will still have EOD after it goes away. I hope everyone's behaving. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, Jaeger, it seems like you are behaving, but you just keep... Oh, no, you're fucking spamming, dude. Don't be doing that, man. Don't be doing that. Is radiation going to be a thing? Yes. Make sure you're using the right format, too, there, dude, because you have to do the @NiceGuySpaceTarkov so I can pick you out of chat. Make sure you guys are using @NiceGuySpaceTarkov, what, like, Tyrus is doing. Let me catch up here. Like what Friend did, like what Powell did, like what Stevie did, like what oh my god, you're still here. I can't say your name. Polilolilolo too. whatever what Pasquale just did, @NiceGuySpaceTarkov. Because it pops up in bright orange for me so that I can actually pick you out of the chat. So yes, radiation is coming. Radiation and environmental hazards like that are coming. Yep. Most of the chat seems to want a container nerf. It's not most of the chat, Tirish. It's just a very loud minority. Or I don't even know the numbers involved. It just seems like a lot of people think that's the right move because Clean's been saying that for years. It's an interesting move. It needs to be like I don't know about need actually because of what it is. It's an interesting move. If there was a world where there were separate servers, like if this was like set up like DayZ, if Escape from Tarkov had like a DayZ setup where there would be some servers, absolutely guarantee that locked secure containers or removed secure containers would be a very popular server for Escape from Tarkov. Let's put it that way. But right now, it's really not the case because there's a huge long story behind that, and there's a lot that goes into that. Again, we'll just leave it at that, guys. I don't want to go back into that today. We can go back to that as an entire subject for an entire 1-hour cast some other day. There's a lot more that needs to happen with it. We can't just brute force stuff like that. Love your content. Thanks, Zoom. Cool name, too, with the H there. Do you have a Discord server? Discord's work in progress right now. Soon TM with that. Is there any news for camouflage, whether or not that's been... So, yeah, spray paint for guns are coming. Spray paint for guns are coming, yep. Looks like last Q&A spawned Q&A channel on official EFT Discord. Looks like they're stealing your job. Yeah, that's been a thing forever, pal. That's been on the forums. I don't know if that's a new thing on the Discord either, to be honest. Also, all that's going to happen is just a flood of, like what always happens whenever you ask the community anything. It's going to be a flood of fix the game, fix your servers, when wipe, get rid of that gun. Why are you adding guns? You should fix the game. Why are you adding maps? You should fix the game. Like, that's what always happens. So that's why people like me and people like the, emissaries and stuff like that, like Hums, are a thing because we're actual real fans of the game. We see what the community is saying, and then we're able to compartmentalize all the bullshit and just kind of really understand what is good for the game, and then, or not what is good for the game, but, what might be good for the game, and send that towards BSG and then see what happens. And generally speaking, the real heart of the community would be behind us with that stuff. So that's why you see that Q&A work so well, because if you like Escape from Tarkov, you know what's coming, and you're just a fan of the game, and you understand that they're fucking working on the game, they're going to fix the game eventually. They are going to, they're working on that shit. They understand that stuff. It's just annoying whenever they get asked that constantly. Past that, what's the extra stuff? What's the actual real stuff that you want to know? So yeah. Got you, fam. Appreciate what you do and the challenge of speaking in front of others. Thanks, Kev. I'm just sitting here alone in my room right now, but hopefully not losing my voice. I would absolutely shit my pants if I was actually in front of people. When the game releases, will what the standard edition is now be different? No, maybe so. They have changed. They have iterated on a little bit. They have changed some things around with the additions of the game in terms of the stuff that you get at the beginning and how you get it and stuff like that, because it's a balance issue. But generally speaking, no. The everything except Edge of Darkness should be there after launch. They should be. That's a little weird. So we're gonna. Boop boop boop. You having a good day this morning? Yeah, hopefully I don't lose my voice, Mike. Coffee's been good. Actually, I do need to pick up more coffee. I guess gotta take a note of that. Do you think that Tarkov will be a completely different game once it's finished? Absolutely. Nikita himself said that too. That's a literal question that I asked Nikita. Yeah, it's gonna be extremely different. Again, I don't know how to say your name here, man. Andrew, I guess Andrew War. I have an entire playlist dedicated to videos that I've made talking about how different Escape from Tarkov is going to be at launch. So I would go check out my Changing Point playlist. And Nikita agrees 100%. He answered that specifically, and he gave a big answer to that with the Q&A the other day. Ghillie suits again. People ask about ghillie suits again. I'll ask about ghillie suits, and I'll see what's going on with that. But last I heard about ghillie suits, they're not going to come to the game because of how they work. There's going to be weird physics involved with that, and it's a lower priority for them because of how they're used in real life. We'll see if they end up coming to the game though. Just right now, I don't think they're planned, and I think they're a low priority at most. Just starting playing the game for a few weeks ago. Glad I found your channel. It's been really helpful so far. Appreciate it. Dead fucking last. Thanks. Appreciate it. Those are one of those names I have to really read out and understand before I say them, because I don't know if it's fucking weird. I don't know if you're trying to get me to say something bad. What role do you think the Black Division will play in the open world? That's a rabbit hole, Andrew. There's a lot going on with the Black Division, I think, now, and I'm going to talk about that in today's video, actually. Do you think ammo might have an effect on weapon durability? Oh, absolutely. That's actually confirmed, Jake. That's confirmed. You got to pay attention to what kind of ammo you use with the steel case and stuff like that, and the carbon buildup and all that jazz. Morning, Kodo. Hope you're doing well. I thought the benefits of EOD, except free DLC, will vanish after launch. No, Tirish. I don't know if that's like a translation error or whatnot, but no. Like EOD is staying the same. EOD is staying the same after launch. The only thing is access. You can no longer buy EOD at some point. Anyone that has EOD will still have it. They will still have they'll still have everything that you get with EOD. There will just no longer be new people accessing EOD. What do you think quests will look like at release? Tons of shit. There's going to be lots of different crazy quest strips. There's tons of crazy quests. You got your timed quests, you got your daily, weekly quests, you got the lore quests, you got specific new trader quests, new ammo quests, or not ammo specifically, but gear quests. There's lots. They're doing a shit ton of stuff regarding quests and tasks and stuff. Is it accurate to say that currently all the players in EFT are basically just testing the game assets and really playing Escape from Tarkov yet? Myriad, go ahead and open the game and look at the first thing that pops up for you. Yes, it is more than accurate. We are literally just here to test. We are testing the game. It is a testing environment. That is what we are here to do. This game does not represent what the final form of the game will be in every sense of the word, or every sense of the phrase. We're coming up on 10 here, guys. So we're gonna lightning round the last few questions here, and then we're gonna end it for today because I really can't lose my voice. I've got a big ass video I have to get done today. The armor with arm protection, are they gonna make it so that armor is in sections so it doesn't? Yes. Zoom, go check out my video on custom armor hitboxes. It's titled "The Biggest Change Coming to Escape from Tarkov." Go check that out. It is exactly gonna be like that. I hope they replace most of the current quests with. They're not gonna replace any of the quests, Kilo. They are going to add to them, though, and they're going to iterate on them, and they'll make some changes here. I really don't think they're going to replace any of them. Since EOD is limited, do you think it's worth an upgrade? That's completely up to you, Andrew. Completely up to you. If you like Escape from Tarkov, if that money is worth it to you, it's completely a personal question. That's completely on you. Is there going to be a change to how variable optics are interacted with? Yes. In fact, I think the first iteration of that is going to come with 12.11. Do you think they'll overhaul the melee system at some point? Yeah, there is going to be melee takedowns and stuff. Is there a final date announced for purchasing? No, I would assume that once they have a launch date, it'll be around that. They'll talk about that for launch date. How many years until release do you think? It's gonna. I would say, that's tough. Hotbox Kid, ask me again when they actually have the launch window because I'll be able to answer it then. I don't know actually. I don't actually know off the top of my head right now, but it's gonna be years. It will be years. Slight brain fart. How do I DM on a Discord? Join the fuck. I don't know. All right. So guys, this is my current Discord, but there's a lot of funky stuff that's happening with it. Let me get this together here. One sec, guys. You might hear me talking in a video in the background because I have to quickly find this link. So this is my current Discord right now, but I don't really have the same kind of access that I usually would with it. So the new one is work in progress. The new one is work in progress. This is my current one that actually works. If you guys want to go hang out in there, that's cool. But I am going to be moving from that eventually. But there's a big ass community in there. Loads of them are from this channel. Loads of them know me, and there's a lot of really cool people. It's a really great community. It's a really cool community, but it is a public community too. So that's also part of the reason why I'm going and doing my own thing. They go to Reddits and they go to different forums and stuff like that, and they recruit for that community. So we do sometimes get assholes here and there because it is a public community. Be very careful about who you trust. It's not my personal community. So yeah. So if you guys want to go over there, you'll see me over there on the right side there. If you need to DM me, DMs are always open. That kind of thing. I will not click links unless I've talked to you previously. Don't send me any links. Don't be sending me any shit because I'm not going to click your link. This is the first time I'm talking to you, I'm not going to click your link. All right. Leg armor. They don't think leg armor is going to come to the game because it's not really used in Modern Warfare, unless you're on like a SWAT team or something, which isn't really seen too often. So yeah. You think in the future you will be able to Saratoga ammo, like putting 50 in a shotgun so it explodes? I doubt it. Thanks for answering my question. Awesome stream. Have an awesome day. Thank you very much, Andrew. And with that, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. We've got a huge video coming out later today. I've already got the blueprint set up for it. I just need to do the audio, and I need to finish editing it. It's going to be just it's going to be a compilation of everything that we've heard over the last few days and how that fits into the plan of Escape from Tarkov and all that stuff. Very big video. And it's also going to be a sponsored video, so I would really appreciate the support with that one. And it should be, if you guys go and watch this, you should really know what the fuck is up with Tarkov for the foreseeable future, for sure. And that's going to go up later today. That's going to go up in like 10 hours or something like that. Because I need to finish it up, and I need to just, make sure it's right and all that stuff. So a lot more work left on that one. But you will see that one go live later today. This has been Good Morning Tarkov. I do this every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern United States time. So if I didn't get to your question, the VOD will go up live. You can put it in the comments of that, or you can come by tomorrow at the same time and you'll find me here. Actually, Sundays we do general Q&A, so Sundays tomorrow would be the best day for you to come by and ask any questions. Also, if you didn't catch it live, this is going to go up on Spotify later as well. If you guys are watching, you can check out the timestamps in the description and the pinned top comment to see to see what the general progress and the general topics for today was. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for hanging out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for the latest Escape from Tarkov news. Really appreciate you hanging out. I love you, and I'll see you soon, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Bye.